Previously on 2DS Studios.
As cool as the red bandanas are, it is a pain in the butt trying to tell them apart. So thankfully, when the 87 cartoon came out, they changed the colors and it's been a mainstay ever since. Yes, including these ones, which nobody likes. Alright, we're gonna save the live action design hate for another video.
With TMNT being one of the most iconic 80s franchises of all time, it's pretty obvious that it would eventually dive into movies at one point or another, with the 1990 trilogy and the Michael Bay movies of the 2010s. These two different sets of films have many different features that separate them, but one of the biggest things is the designs of the Turtles. One of the hardest things about adapting an animated franchise into live action is how to make the animated characters work in a live action setting. Now, some are able to go through this with zero problem, but unfortunately, Ninja Turtles isn't one of them. And that's why I want to talk about how the Ninja Turtles designs in the live action movies went from a very impressive high to a very depressing low. So, my beautiful audience, sit back, grab a slice, and let's talk about how the Ninja Turtles designs went from peak to trash in live action. Well, no better place to start than the beginning. 1990 marked the release of the Ninja Turtles' first cinematic adventure, and I gotta say, this first movie is a certified banger, and if you are a Ninja Turtles fan that hasn't seen this movie, what are you doing with your life? Come on, bro. These Ninja Turtles designs are an absolute masterclass in practical effects, with them being animatronic suits created by the Jim Henson Company. You can tell that the Jim Henson Company really did their best to make the Ninja Turtles work in live action, from the attention to detail in the suits in the first movie and the second one. So much quality and effort went into them, and to this day, they still look amazing. Although there is one small problem that you can see in this one scene of the movie. Now hold your horses. Donnie did not eat a human being. That's just the actor in the suit. You just happen to see his mouth. That's really the only one problem with these animatronics, is that little slip-ups like that can happen. Speaking of animatronics by the Jim Henson Company, guess what movie they're currently working on that's going to release on October 27th? Still not sure what it is? Let me give you a hint. That's right, the same people that worked on the Ninja Turtles movies are working on Five Nights at Freddy's. But thankfully, we won't need to worry about the Ninja Turtles getting quirky at night. I think the 1990 movie designs symbolize a lot about what makes the original 1990 movie so good in the first place, with it being a perfect realization of how the Turtles should look in live action. If you ask me, I think these designs are kind of a mix of the original comic designs, but just with the colored headbands from the 87 cartoon. I think it works perfectly because it's like a faithful adaptation of the original Mirage comics, except you can actually tell the Ninja Turtles apart now. A small detail that I noticed about the belts is that Leo and Donnie have a little diagonal slash on their belts, whereas Raph and Mikey have the horizontal belts, which I really like. Plus, their belts look almost identical to the 2012 designs. That could just be a coincidence. It could also be me overanalyzing this because I'm a diehard Turtles fan, but either way, it's a pretty cool detail. Overall, these designs are a solid 10 out of 10. Secret of the Ooze, another victim of 90s censorship. Now, hear me out. Secret of the Ooze is actually a fine movie. I actually really like it, but also, man, it's just not as good as the original. They had to censor a lot of stuff in it because they wanted to make it more like the 87 cartoon, which meant that the Ninja Turtles didn't really use their weapons that much, especially Michelangelo, because nunchucks are like illegal in some territories. Plus, they thought that the first movie was too violent. My sibling in Christ, they are the Ninja Turtles. Do you know what ninjas do? How you gonna get mad at crime fighters fighting crime? Like, is that not what their job is? That's like getting mad at police for arresting people. Although granted, there are some cases where that's valid, but let's not worry about that right now. This is America. When a superhero team is called the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I think you should know what you're signing up for. Just let the ninjas do ninjutsu. They also didn't want to have the turtles saying swear words.
Ninja kick the damn rabbit!
Because that's a no-no for the kiddies. Okay, now that pet peeve's out of the way, let's talk about the actual designs. And you know what? The designs still look good, but it is definitely a slight downgrade from the original movie. When you compare the designs in the second movie to the ones in the first movie, you can tell by the faces that there are some slight differences. With Leonardo, Raphael, and Michelangelo, the faces are relatively unscathed, but something about Donatello's face feels a lot different. Donnie always had an expression in the first movie where it looked like he was always kind of pondering about something. Whereas in the first one, he just looks kind of regular. It's not a bad change. Like, I think he still looks good in this movie, but his differences stick out like a sore thumb. Like, it's weird how in Ninja Turtles 2, all the other turtles are pretty much the same, yet Donnie feels completely different. Not in terms of character, more just like, one, the way he looks, but also the voice actor change.
Know where you live, you know?
He's right.
What?
One thing I forgot to mention about the first movie is that all the turtles have little spots on their skin, and I think that's a really nice touch and it makes them feel alive. With the first movie's turtles designs, the spots are a lot more subtle compared to the second one where it's a lot more obvious. But the spots are still like made in a way where it's not like to the point where it looks like they have chicken pox. Another thing I forgot to mention were the fight scenes. The animatronic suits work amazing in the fight scenes. In the first one, it really helps make you feel like the turtles are really there because like they were really there and like really fighting, as opposed to just CG, although those movies did come out in a time before CG was really like that good. It made the fight scenes feel really authentic to see these real, like, walking, talking, kung fu, ninjutsu fighting turtles. In the second one, like, it's still good. The fight choreography in both movies is still really good, but with the second one, because they had to censor it and not have the turtles use their weapons as much, it really dampens the impact of the fight scenes. That and also the cartoony sound effects thrown around sometimes. Again, they were trying to make it more like the 87 cartoon with it being more lighthearted and fun, which isn't in of itself a bad thing, but the way they had to do it definitely hurts the movie, especially compared to the first one. Jim Henson's Creatures Shop were still in charge of the animatronics in this film, which is good. Unfortunately, Jim Henson himself passed away during the production of the movie, so this film was dedicated to him. We love you, Jim Henson. Thank you for creating such bodacious childhoods. Alright, enough being a negative Nancy, because in reality, I still really like these designs. They're still, for the most part, the same designs that we knew and loved from the first film. They just have a few small changes here and there that you get used to. Also, the performers in these suits knew how to bust a move with the ninja rap. Ninja, ninja, rap, go, 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 go. Anyways, Ninja Turtles Secret of the Ooze has some solid designs that are worth an 8 out of 10 ranking.
Ah, man, give a guy a heart attack.
Ninja Turtles 3, we're getting this over with as soon as possible. End the pain, please! The designs are ugly and this movie sucks. The end. Okay, fine, I'll go more in depth. So, what caused these designs to look so atrocious? The reason why these animatronics look so different from the first two movies is because they were not made by the Jim Henson Company this time.
Look, a red flag.
The animatronics in Ninja Turtles 3 were done by the All Effects Company. It's such a shame how far these designs have fallen. How about the HIV spots that are supposed to look like the spots from the last two movies? Yeah, remember how I said that the spots in the first two film suits were like subtle and made them look like, you know, actual reptile skin? Yeah, these literally look like someone put cigars out on their skin. Like, what happened here? And the worst part is that the spots are everywhere. It would be one thing if they were just like freckles, then it would have been fine, but like you have all these giant ones. Like, again, it looks like the turtles got like an STD or something. Like, what happened?
Oh, bro, I've been trying to talk her into an interspecies relationships for months now.
What the actual shit? What?
Chill, man. And she won't do it.
She can't hold her breath. No, she can't do it.
The biggest problem is she can't hold her breath long enough, you know?
Hey, yo, what the f***?
Well, okay, coming up.
Look at that little black kid in the front. Bro is positively flabbergasted. Look at those British looking teeth that they done gave my boy Raphael. Got him looking like he plays cricket on the weekends.
Cricket? Nobody understands cricket. You gotta know what a crumpet is to understand cricket.
Now speaking of the teeth, overall the mouths just look so off. In general, the whole head shape is so weird. The nose has like literally no shape at all, so it ends up making the turtles look like they have beaks. Plus, so the way the mouths move when they talk make it feel so obvious that they're animatronics. Like, their mouths move like Chuck E. Cheese animatronics, and even the Five Nights at Freddy's animatronics have some life into them. Well, it's probably because they're possessed by dead kids, but let's not worry about that. And I'm still excited for the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, by the way. Now, the bodies themselves are fine. Again, you gotta ignore the hickey spots, but in general, the bodies look okay for the most part. But like the shells look kind of flat in the front. In the first two, they had a lot more definition, but like they kind of popped up a bit more. Like these designs, like from the neck down, are okay, but the faces really ruined them. It honestly, at best, it looks like a cosplay of the 1990 movies, and at worst, it's just a massive downgrade, looking like it was made for a TV show rather than an actual movie. Much like the film they came from, they lack the soul that the Jim Henson Company brought to the Turtles. And with that said, these designs are a 4 out of 10. And that's it for today's video. Ninja Turtles 3 definitely had a bad taste in my mouth, but on the bright side, the first two movies are still pretty good. Hopefully the future films are just as good. Oh, I'm so tired. Hey guys, Damari here. Ignore the mess of the room. Alright, that's a better angle. Hi! This video is going to be a two-parter. I'm not sure when part 2 is going to come out because I have a lot of other videos planned this October, including the first episodes of Behind the Sketches. Yeah, I'm going to be honest, I suck with deadlines and releases, but I'm trying to get better at that. Trying my best. And I have some really good stuff in the works right now, so I want to make sure that all my good quality goes into that. I try to put quality over quantity in terms of my bigger videos. But yeah, part 2, not sure when that'll be coming out. Behind the Sketches, my goal is to get episodes 1 and 2 out by the end of this month. And yeah, that's pretty much it for now. Thank you all for watching. This has been 2DS Studios, and until next time, stay tuned and stay cool.